Oh, just as I thought my video for the day was finished, this has just appeared in my Discord. I mean, it's kind of like my job now to review these, so let's see what they're about. Preview update number 2. So this is very, very exciting. So I've known about this for about a week or so now, so it's cool to see this being implemented into the bikes. So before we hop into gameplay, essentially, Mr. JVDL, who very, very old sim player, he helps a lot on that massive MX vs ATV Unleashed mod as well. He has found a line of code in Paboso's game, or bikes, even in the stock MSM bikes, which basically is reliable for all of the like noodle arm front end wobbles that we've been getting, and it's now been removed. So I'm very, very hopeful for this, that with this update we should hopefully have a lot more solid front ends. And just having a read through this here, it says, thanks to recent discoveries by JVDL, we believe to have found the missing key to help remedy the issue as best as possible. And the issue it's talking about is, what is it? Like a feeling of loss of control has been torturing players across MX bikes and GP bikes. So again, saying that it's a Paboso bug. We've calibrated and tailored a core value that seemed to be out of place according to physics laws. Getting a bit scientific there. Changing this value grants a feeling of being in control of the bike instead of the bike controlling you. It does not mean you will never experience wobble or washouts ever again, allows of very real life situations when riding on the absolute edge. It does mean that your chances of surviving said situations have been increased, and that you are now able to ride up a hill without holding on for dear life. We can bore you with a lengthy article giving you an in-depth explanation on how we implement this and how it works, but we won't. Instead, we want to provide you with a new set of preview bikes with the change implemented so you can test it yourselves. Oh my god. If you've been putting off buying that new MX gear, or you're just looking for some new daily MX related clothing, then head on over to fxrracing.com. Code MXPR_Lins15 at checkout will give you 15% off all motocross and lifestyle products. This code is applicable to the European, Swedish and Norwegian websites, not Canada or the USA. And whilst I've got your attention, you may as well subscribe to the channel. It's just one click of a button and it puts a big old smile on my face. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Now, it's actually crazy to me that it takes the community to fix Paboso's game rather than the other way around. If this works, this is actually unreal. So as I said in the intro when reading it all off, there is a line of code in Paboso's stock bikes, nothing that the OEM team have made previously, that comes default with the MSM bikes, even in the demo of the game, across MX bikes and GP bikes, that causes all of this uphill wobble / noodle arms, I like to call it. And my god, have those things frustrated me so much in the past. I am so hopeful for this right now. I've not tried these bikes at all. Granted, I've not really been doing my my job such as as an OEM tester, but today is the day. We shall see. Now, I have chosen here the GP of Italy because, if I remember, it was a track that a lot of people found really, really frustrating when the GP was on. I myself never actually got to do it during the GPs. I was away for that week. However, this should be very, very exciting because there is a couple of kind of like off-camber hills around this track that we'll see how they go. They should be very, very interesting. Now, I've never been a massive, massive KTM enjoyer in the past anyway, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see if my opinion gets changed at all. I do find that it turns a little bit stiffer than some of the other bikes, but you did just see me before even like going to the track. Just putting the swing arm on 8, for example. That's just a habit that I have across all bikes, just for stability usually. So it could be a case of now our front end's meant to be a bit more solid up and down these hills. We might not need to do that anymore. And you saw just after the whole shot line, right off the gate, I had a front end tuck. However, it straightened back out. Usually I would expect that to kind of kick me back and forth a couple of times. Let's see how this goes. Hill number 1. Literally no wobble at all. Oh my god, this is... This is very, very exciting. You know why this excites me, but more than it probably should do, like more than other people get excited, is you guys know that I'm a massive enduro guy. And it's so frustrating playing tracks like Krakenberg, trying to go up them steep hills, and getting halfway, your arms folding side to side, your body collapsing on you, and then you end up rolling all the way back down. So if this is as good as I'm thinking it is, then oh my god. Trying to see if I can like just force it a bit, you know, like take it to the extremes and really push it deep into the corners and just see what the front end's trying to do. At the moment, it seems to be the back end a little bit more slidey than the front, which I will take because I'm a firm believer of you should be able to steer with the back end on motocross games. I think that's another massive thing that Paboso's, or I say Paboso's games in general, I mean MX bikes, is that you kind of have to maintain perfect traction, which isn't the most realistic thing in the world for a motocross game, but which I suppose is a reskinned version of GP bikes today. I can't believe how good that hill there feels. That's actually insane, like no wobbling whatsoever. There's one of the uphill, downhill hairpins earlier in the lap that you saw that was nice and straightforward as well. I'm trying to push it over the braking bumps and trying to turn a little bit on them to see if the front end has like any massive issues, but it seems really, really smooth, which I'm quite surprised by. Now, you saw me do a preview of you saw me review the original preview bikes around Parlour, and I wasn't that impressed. You know, I was a good like 5 seconds or so a lap slower. However, this feels just nice. It feels plush, you know, suspension, like just kind of tanking them bumps down the hill. What's it like, OJN? Fine. Okay, absolutely fine. I'm really, really happy. I'm going to load up Parlour actually and see how it handles that hill in the back corner, because again, that is something that caused me a hell of a lot of problems. Let's go and check that out. As always, Italy copy. I'm actually going to take some of the swing arm length out. Let's just do it as stock, as they put it, and we'll see how this goes. So, I think if I remember back to the video I done on these bikes last time around this track, I want to say my best lap was something like a 205. Now, in qualifying for this track, for the Aerial Series, I was about, I want to say like mid-150s, something like that. I was definitely, it probably wasn't that low. It was definitely sub 2 minutes, is what I'm saying. So if we can get anywhere near a 2 minute during this, I would be a very, very happy man. What we like quadding over. Quad feels nice and smooth. I think one thing that's off-putting me a little bit, which again is all down to personal preference, is in regards to how the how the bike sounds. I'm a very audio-based player, so I usually do mess around with sound mods quite often. Not the biggest fan of this one. What's this hill like then? That was absolutely fine. Usually I would be so timid and like barely trying to touch any of the sticks and just hope I get up, but I was actively turning on that. I was turning to the right, trying to pitch the bike in over to the right hand side. I'm really shocked. I am. Do you know what actually annoys me more than anything? Is how long this has been a problem for, and that I have actually angrily messaged Promoso before, like after having like a really awful race in regards to these physics, and said like, you need to fix your game. Or saying like, what is the reason for these hill wobbles? And it didn't know. It didn't know the answer. So the fact that JVDL was come along and somehow found this line of wonky code and seems to be remedied it. Well, this isn't Ratatouille. Seems to have remedied it. Remedied it. Is that proper English? I think it is. Seems to have found a solution to it. There we go. We'll just change the sentence completely. I'm such a happy man. You have no idea. And I'm not even angry that it's currently 10 PM at night and I'm having to record a last-minute video because I want to be on the scene as soon as possible. I hope you hope you guys can try these bikes out. They are still OEM supporter related. However, they did mention on the post about opening these up to the public once they're all happy with them. That is that's a pretty epic gamer moment. But yeah, if you are an OEM supporter, go and give it a go. And one thing that I think is really important is just give good constructive feedback rather than just saying this is shit, because that is what helps the bikes get better at the end of the day. So massive shout out to JVDL. I want to make sure it's not just like not just a luck of the draw thing, not just one time. I want to hit this hill again, and if I hit this again and it's okay, firstly I'm going to finish the lap off to see kind of what lap times we're looking at here. I do think it's going to be a little bit slower. Like the bike to me, it doesn't feel super fast in a straight line. The suspension feels a lot better than it did on the first set of preview bikes. These hills are nuts. I mean, am I taking the mick there? I think I might be. I literally jumped up the hill kind of sideways. Let's try it again real quick. Be a little bit more passive. You don't want it to be stupidly OP. That one was absolutely fine. So it's not a case of you are now invulnerable. You know, mistakes can still be made. I definitely think that there is still a line and a limit, which I'm okay with, because you don't want the game to become too easy. You want there to still be a little bit of a skill gap in there. Otherwise, everyone's going to be running absolute steamers all lap every lap. And I'm an old man at this point. I'm having trouble keeping up with all of the younger fast guys that are coming through. And my qualifying laps and positions are getting slower and slower and slower each week, and I'm just trying to bank on like consistency in races to save me for the most part. But this is good. This feels very, very promising. And let's get around here. I want to get to the finish line just to complete a full lap, even though you've already you've seen me crash, so it doesn't really matter. Get round here to the right, over this bad boy, the old scrub-a-dub-dubs, and there is a lap of Parlour. I'm going to go and stress test it. I want to go to Krackenberg and try them first 3 hills, because they are known to be an absolute nightmare for people. I'm actually not going to touch this one at all. I'm going to leave it all completely as stock. As you can see, if I compare it to default, nothing has changed in here. So if we go to the track, this is going to be important. You know, this could be the old make or break thing. Now, what I do need to take with a pinch of salt on the old res courses here is the traction on some of the hills is a bit funky. So I need to see if the issue that we have or run into is because of traction issues or if it's a bike issue. We shall see. I mean, you can hear, I don't know if you can hear actually on YouTube, but a lot of this track is quite sandy. However, not enough of the track is sandy to warrant sand tyres. So a lot of time you end up riding the mid-soft tyres on a sand track. I had no idea that I had done this many laps around here. Oh my god, look how right it is up the hill. Right, hopefully that doesn't affect us. I'm going to take my normal line that I always do, which is start on the right, move over to the left and lean back. And straight as an arrow. Number 2. Even straighter than an arrow. Number 3. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh my god. Hello? So, boys, OEM guys, if you listen to me a sec. Do you want to maybe like implement this code and change to the Enduro bikes as well for the Enduro series that the Ace Moto boys are helping me host in August, please? I beg, thank you. Right, let's try this up hill out. May as well. Whilst we're here, 4th and final, 4 out of 4 question mark, and again up, no problem. Okay, yeah, these bikes are sick. I'm a very, very happy man. Let me know your thoughts on them down below. I'd be very interested to see everyone's opinions. I would say compared to the last preview batch we got, obviously hills are so good now, it's unreal. Front end definitely feels more planted in the corners. Back end feels a little skippy sometimes, but I think that might be due to a stiff suspension. That could all be tweaked. Obviously me not being a good or like particularly amazing suspension guy, always going to have issues with that. But yeah, other than that, really good stuff, good progress. I imagine it's going to take quite a long time to implement these changes across the entire set of bikes. You know, there's like 20 something bikes in total, so not an easy job at all. But massive shout out to Mr. JVDL. You genuinely could have saved the game here, because there's a lot of people getting frustrated with the Poboso physics as of late. So if you've almost fully eliminated those, big hats off to you, sir. I'm a very, very happy man. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I've certainly enjoyed making this. I'm super happy, as you can tell. Please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Oh my god, it's just so good. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you're up to, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.